Hi guys, it's Abu Pasha here again. Welcome to my latest video. We're going to take a slight detour away from the last few videos that I've been making, and we're going to focus on looking for properties that are available currently on the market on Rightmove. We're going to cap the budget to £120,000. The average house price currently in England is roughly around the £250,000 mark. And we're gonna go for less than half of that. So these are basically starter homes, rental properties. So if you're on a tight budget, £120,000 gives you some options. So without any further ado, let me present to you the properties that are available for £120,000 or below, up and down the whole of England, and it'll give you an idea as to what's out there currently. So enjoy. Right guys, so let's get started. The first thing I want to do is draw up a list of criteria by which we're going to judge the properties by. And it'll become clear as we go along. So the first criteria is that the property must not exceed a price of £120,000. We've already mentioned that previously. Property must be located within 1 mile of a town centre. Property must be located within 1 mile of a train station. Now the reason for this is that you don't want the property to be in the middle of nowhere. You want to have shops nearby where you can buy food and supplies and amenities. You want them close by. With regards to the train station, if you have to go to work and your place of work is a fair distance away, you might want to take the train. So again, you want a train station nearby within 1 mile of where you buy the property. We're going to give priority as far as the type of property is concerned. So we're going to prioritize detached right at the top, semi-detached, then terraced, and then a flat or a masonette. So where possible for a given price, we're going to try and get a detached. If we can't get a detached property, we'll try for a semi-detached. If we can't get a semi-detached property, we'll go for a terraced property. If we can't get a terraced property for that price, then we'll go for a flat. And similarly, the priority will be given to maximize the number of bedrooms. So where possible, we're going to maximize the number of bedrooms. If we can get 4 bedrooms within that price, we'll do that. If we can't, then we'll look for 3 bedrooms. If we can't get 3 bedrooms, then we'll get 2 bedrooms. If you can't get 2 bedrooms for that price, then we'll go for 1 bedroom, and so on. And finally, the property that we choose has to be habitable. In other words, it's got to be move-in ready. It doesn't have to be in great condition, although if it's in good condition, that's great. But it is mandatory that the property be move-in ready. In other words, you buy the property, you get the keys, and on the day you get your keys, you can actually move in some furniture and you can live there immediately. I've already done the searches, and this is what we've come up with. And I'm going to go through each property. So starting at the top, we've got a property in Newcastle, then Darlington, Leeds, Bradford, Manchester. And basically what we're doing here is we're going from north of England and we're heading south. So we're going through the Midlands, Kidderminster, and then finally we're heading south of England, Bradford, Luton, Greater London, and then finally Fareham, which is the most southerly part of the country. So what I'll do is I'm going to go through each and every one of them so you can actually see what's available. But these, in my opinion, are currently the best properties available at various locations across the country. The first one we're going to go through is the Newcastle property, 115,000. So you see, this is in good condition. I mean, you can move in. Yep, it's move-in ready. 115,000. Biker metro station, 0.3 miles away, so you've got a local railway line quite close to this property. Freehold, yep, decent place. I'd have no issues living there, although the weather isn't as good as it is in London, so that's Newcastle. The next property is going to be Darlington. Now this is a place that I would absolutely live in. Darlington, great place. So this is what it looks like, 120,000. And again, decent place. I could move in. I'd be happy to live here. Nice place. Good sized rooms, nice bathroom. And this is the floor plan, right? So it's a decent place. The square footage, over 2,000 apparently, and that's big. This is actually a really big home. So for an investment property, this might be something that people might want to look into. I may even look into it myself when I am buying my next property, if this is still on the market, but this looks good. And it's close to the town centre. So this is where the property is located. We've got the train station here. One problem with this though is that it's quite close to the railway line, so you'll probably be able to hear the railway. And yeah, you've got the town centre right there. So the town centre, 10-minute walk. You've also got a decent sized Asda located nearby, and the railway station is there, and you've got the town centre right here. I think you've also got a shopping centre here or something like that. So yeah, a very good location. Only problem is the railway line. That's the only bad thing about this. Right, so that's Darlington. Next one is Leeds. So now we're moving southwest. And they're asking for offers over 95,000. So these are the pictures. That's an open plan lounge and kitchen. Right, so it's quite compact. There's your dining table over there. It's very basic, so there's no character to this. It's just a basic property. Decent sized room. One issue that I do have with flats, and I don't like flats for that reason, especially for investment, is that they have these are leasehold, and you've got to pay let me see, you've got to pay £300 for ground rent per year, and you've got £1,264 per year on service charge, so you're paying over £100 a month just on these charges, so you need to factor that in. So I don't actually buy flats for investment properties, but if you are working within Leeds city centre, this is quite close by and it might be convenient for you. So this is all Leeds city centre right here. This is where all the action is, and your flat is over there, so you could probably walk to work. If you're based somewhere here, you could probably just walk every day, and it's less than 1 mile away from Leeds station. 95,000. I tried to up the budget to £120,000 on this, but I could not find anything that was more decent than this. You can spend £120,000 on another 2-bedroom flat, but it isn't actually much better than this. Bradford. Now Bradford is very close to Leeds, so if you work in Leeds, Leeds is a major city up north. And if you are working in Leeds and you can't afford to live in Leeds, then Bradford could be a very good option, especially if you've got a family and you need the floor space. So here's what we've got. We've got a 4-bedroom terrace. Looks okay from outside, and inside is definitely livable. I think it's nice. I think it's move-in ready. Bathroom needs to be done again. Kitchen needs to be redone. But aside from that, everything looks really nice, and it's move-in ready. It's 4 bedrooms. That's the dormer. That's what it looks like from the outside of the house. It's on a slope, but it looks okay. And that's basically £100,000. And it's within 0.8 miles of Keighley Station. So this is where it's located. And there's your train station over there. And your town centre is here, where all the shops are. Decent property, £100,000. Next one, Manchester. So Manchester is definitely an up-and-coming city. They are trying to turn Manchester into London. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is that they're building up and pumping so much money into Manchester. They're creating these tall glass and steel skyscrapers similar to what you would see in London. They're trying to make Manchester a centre of commerce, and a lot of investors are putting money into that. This is Manchester, and this is on the outskirts, so I will show you whereabouts this is. So there's Hattersley, that's your nearest train station, or even you've got Broadbottom, but I will show you whereabouts this is. This is Greater Manchester, and the property is located somewhere in this region here. So you've got Broadbottom station, half a mile away from the property. There's your floor plan, kitchen, lounge, entrance, porch, 3 bedrooms, bathroom, and a WC. Right, let's go through pictures. The property doesn't look particularly nice from outside, but it's 120,000, so it's a starter home. It needs to be cleaned up, so it's a bit dirty, but you can move in and within a week or two have the walls painted, have the place cleaned up, and have carpets fitted. It's not in great condition, I'll accept, but within 2 weeks you could move in and start living there, and slowly over a period of many months or even years you can refurbish each room at a time. A nice garden too. So that is a 3-bedroom terrace for 120 grand or more. Right, the next one is Doncaster. I like Doncaster. The only problem I've got with Doncaster is that we've had floods for 2 years in a row in Doncaster, and that creates all kinds of problems. If you buy a property, your ground floor is underwater. If you've got a basement, that's definitely underwater. Then you've got to clean it out. It could take months for it to dry out, etc. Now, there's no pictures here. We have to go on how it looks on the outside. It's a semi-detached property, 3-bedroom, and you've got room sizes which look decent. Right, I can't see what's inside, but it's got a garage, 3 bedrooms and 2 reception rooms and a bathroom. So based on the stats, on the metrics, it's actually pretty good. Semi-detached, it looks very nice from the outside. So if you've got guests coming, they'll be impressed with that. And the next door neighbour's got solar panels. So yep, Balby is not a bad area, and it's half a mile from Doncaster station. So you have a whole array of shops nearby. So from here to here is roughly half a mile. So if you walk half a mile, you've got a whole array of shops here. This is the town centre, train station and town centre nearby. Yeah, I'd have no problems living here, 109,000, except for the flooding problems. And next we have Kidderminster, which is in the Midlands. Up for £120,000. Here are the pictures. This is the front of the property. Inside looks good, clean, move-in ready, so you can move in, and all you need to do is update some of the windows which are not double glazed. So there are some windows which are single glazed and you'll need to double glaze them. But looks clean, really clean, move-in ready. You can even have this as a rental investment. So if you were an investor, what you would do is you'd come in, clean the place up, maybe change the carpets. I wouldn't change anything else though, except for the windows. Make sure they're all double glazed. But yeah, it's ready to be let out as an investment property. So this would be quite good. 0.3 miles from Kidderminster station. You've got the town centre here, Asda there, very close by. This is an ideal investment property. So guys, if you are looking to invest money, this would be a good deal. There's a big town centre, all of this. It's got everything. That's a big town centre and you're quite close by. So this is a residential area and this is a town centre. Yeah, this is good. And Kidderminster is over here. This is Kidderminster train station. So yeah, this would be a red hot rental investment. I haven't been through the numbers. I don't know what sort of rent you'll get from this. Here's the floor plan. You've got a cellar, ground floor, first floor, and you've got the attic. East Street, Kidderminster, offers over 120,000. It's been on the market for a while for some reason though. 7 months it's been on the market for, and it hasn't sold. So what you can do is you can make a deal with the owner. They've tried to sell for 7 months, they can't sell it. You do a viewing. If you like what you see, come up with your own figures as to what you think it's worth, and then speak to the owner and see if you can make a deal. But this is something I would definitely look into as a rental investment. Next one is Bedford. So now we are approaching within striking distance of London. A lot of people want to work in London, but they don't want to live in London. So this could be a place where you can live and commute into London on a daily basis. So this is a block of flats, and this is what it looks like. That's the view. Okay, nice and clean, move-in ready. This is a 1-bedroom flat. So this would be really good for either a couple, for 2 people, or for a single guy, single woman inside the communal area. It's got a gym. I would say that this would suit a single male more. It's just got a very clean cut, simple vibe to it. I think women tend to prefer more character. It's got a gym as well. So let's look at some figures. So £105,000 or more. It's got a 143-year lease. Right, leases. That's another thing I want to quickly touch on. When you buy a leasehold property, make sure that it's got a relatively long lease, over 75 years ideally. Anything under, and as the lease comes down, you'll need to renew the lease. So yeah, just bear that in mind. 75 years is really what you're looking for, or above. This has a 143-year lease, which is fine. No problems there. Now, in the description, it does actually say a good investment property. You're going to be paying some leasehold charges. You're going to be paying money for the lease. You're going to be paying money for the ground rent, and that's why I always stay away from flats. And that's the floor plan. So you've got a combined living and dining area. You've got separate kitchen, separate bedroom. And the location, 0.2 miles from Bedford, St John's Station. So it's well located. You've got a hospital nearby, and you've got a shopping centre, so you've got the town centre there, you've got more shops here, so it's located within striking distance of transport as well as your amenities. This is a good location, very good location, I like that. Next one is Luton. Now this is really within striking distance of London, and I'm going to show you. So this does have character to it. It's not like the previous property we saw in Bedford. It doesn't look it, but it is actually a relatively new build. Property was built in 2015, so it was built actually 6 years ago. It's got a cellar and a long lease apparently. 120-year lease, so that's fine. Let's take a look at the pictures, let's see what it looks like inside. You can live in there straight away, you can move in and you can live in there immediately, you don't need to do anything. Just a good clean up. That's your shower room. That looks fine. I'd have no issues living here. Let me just take a look at the map. It's within half a mile of Luton Station. Luton Station is right there, and there's your town centre. So this here is your town centre. It's within striking distance of the town centre, Luton Station as well. I'm going to show you where this property is located, which is in Luton, compared to London, and how far away it is. It's not that far. You can get a train from Luton into Farringdon, and I think it's a 30-minute train ride. And if you live in northwest London, you can go to West Hampstead to Luton in about 25 minutes, 20 minutes. So it's quite close. So there's Luton, and this is London. Right. West Hampstead is somewhere in this area here. So you can get a train into West Hampstead 20 minutes, or if you want to, you can go to Farringdon. There you go, that's Farringdon. So you can get the train from Luton into Farringdon, and that's going to be your central London location. And then it goes further into central London right there. So basically you can get into central London 30 minutes from Luton. So this is an ideal commuter town. So now that we've covered the geography, £120,000, 1-bedroom flat. Yep, that looks good. Now, for some reason, this property hasn't sold in a long time. So again, you're going to have the opportunity to speak to the owner, the agent, and make a deal. Find out why it isn't selling, and then you're going to have to attach your own value and say, right, I want to buy this property, I'm interested, but I'm not paying £120,000. The owner will probably make a deal because the property has not sold in 2.5 years. So that's Luton. Now we move into London proper. So take a look at this, guys. So we're going to ignore the prices. We've said 120,000 is the budget. Look at the bedroom count. 3, 3, 2, 4. Bradford is the outlier. It's cheap there. 3, 3. Leeds is also the outlier. Leeds is quite expensive near the city centre. Then as you head further south, the amount of bedrooms gets less. You got 2. And then in Bedford 1, Luton 1. And finally you arrive in London, which is the most expensive. And you get 0 bedrooms because it's a studio flat. Studio flat means that you only get one room, that's your lounge, your bedroom, it's your everything. You get a separate kitchen, separate bathroom. That's it. Let's take a look at some pictures. So that's what it looks from the outside. I don't think it looks great, but anyway, look, it's cheap. It's about as cheap as you're going to get. Where's the location? This is Harrow. Harrow is a good area. It's where I live. I've never seen this property myself. I haven't seen this block of flats. But yep, Harrow's a nice area. Good transport links. I can tell you a lot about Harrow. One of the nicest areas that I looked into when I moved here. I looked at different areas and Harrow was the one that I chose. So yep, this is a studio flat, decent kitchen, decent bathroom, move-in ready. So you come in, you move in, just do a clean up and you're good to go. £120,000. There's not much to see because it's such a small property, but that's what you get in London. Leasehold doesn't say anything about the lease, so you'd need to inquire how long the lease is and also how much you're going to be paying in terms of monthly service charge and ground rent. 0.2 miles, Harrow on the Hill station, that's your main station in Harrow. That's the one I use. I'm about 5 minutes walk away. This is probably about 3 minutes walk away, maybe 4 minutes walk away. I'll show you the town centre, I'm very familiar with that. So this is located in Leon Road. This is your town centre. There's a big supermarket somewhere here, Morrison's, wherever that is. Morrison's is right here, there you go, I was right. And you've got Tesco, which is another big supermarket right there. What can I say? I don't need to say anything else. Good town centre, good place to live, good starter home for a single person, £120,000. And then we move further south to Fareham. It's a nice area. I found this cheap flat, £105,000. Let's take a look. Nice and clean, move-in ready. You don't have to do anything, you just give it a clean up, nice. In Fareham, they have a lot of green spaces, so you can see that you've got a nice view as well. Simple, 2-bedroom flats. And here's the floor space, kitchen, bathroom, 2 bedrooms and the lounge. So this will be leasehold, obviously. And again, because it's a flat, you'd need to find out what the monthly costs are. In terms of location, yep, 0.7 miles from Fareham Station. Fareham Station, you can get a train that goes straight into London. Let me see. So this is how you check the distance in terms of train rides. You go to Trainline and you type in from London and you're going to go to Fareham and I'm going to pick Tuesday. And this is going to give me an idea of how long it takes to get into London. Right, 1.5 hours, 1 hour 38 minutes, 1 hour 57, 2 hours, 1 hour 37. So basically 1 hour 40 minutes or thereabouts. So bear in mind that we spoke about the property in Luton and this was 30 minutes away from London and that was 120,000, 1-bedroom flat. This is Fareham, this is 105, so it's cheaper. Flat is bigger, but it takes 1 hour 40 minutes into central London. So bear that in mind. Close to the town centre as well. So you've got shops nearby. So this is your town centre right there. So you're located here and your town centre is all here. And there's the train station. So yep, conveniently located. Fareham offers of £105,000 or more. So there you have it, guys. I've run through all the best properties, in my opinion, that I could see. In the north of England, right at the top, you can get larger properties. Leeds and Bradford are the outliers. When you're close to Leeds city centre, it's expensive. When you move to Bradford, it's very cheap. And Leeds and Bradford are actually really close together. Then as you continue going down south, Manchester is relatively expensive. And then Doncaster's a nice area, but a flood zone. and then you keep heading south, and it just gets more and more expensive until you hit London. London is the most expensive. You can see the number of bedrooms goes down to 0, you can get a studio flat, and then you head towards south and it gets slightly more cheaper. So there you have it, guys. That's what £120,000 gets you these days. Of all these properties here, personally, if London is not important to you, then I'd probably look towards the property in Darlington. If you don't mind the slightly colder weather, Darlington was a nice property. Let's quickly take a look at that. It's got huge floor space, 2,000 square feet, and for £120,000, I think this is a very good deal. If central London is important to you, personally, I'd go for the property in Bedford. £105,000, you're 40 minutes away from London. And this, to remind you, is what the property looks like. And the only thing you need to check out is the monthly costs. 143-year lease, so it's a long lease, and the EPC rating is good as well. So you're not going to be spending too much on utility bills. So it's going to be quite warm in the winter. And you can buy this, live in there, immediately move in there. That's your floor plan. This is the property I'd buy if being close to London is important to you. Property prices are going up, and I fully expect prices to go up again next year, and possibly the next year after that. After that, I think there's going to be a bit of a stabilisation. But if people are expecting a house price crash, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But who knows? You know, anything can happen. Things can change within months. If interest rates go up, then possibly house prices could come down. I don't know. But in my opinion, now is a very nice time to buy. So there you have it, guys. If you can leave a like and subscribe, that would be very much appreciated. It will help the channel grow, and it will keep me motivated to keep making more and more videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you in my next video.